All right, welcome back, man. The game, right? It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. It was Thursday when the Saints played the Broncos. Sean Payton's return to the Superdome. Drew Brees being honored. Uh, you've been being honored being in the Saints Hall of Fame. So it was a special moment. But this
Did
team
they
ruined
retire?
it.
Did they retire his jersey?
They didn't retire his jersey. He just got
Okay.
put
'Cause I
into the
just saw
Saints,
Daryl
the
Green get
Saints
his
Hall of Fame.
retired.
Yeah, they didn't retire Brees' jersey, but
Mm.
he was back in the building, and I mean, the Saints were pretty much out of the game by halftime. And at halftime is when they were honoring Drew Brees. So,
Hmm.
many of the fans just stuck around for that and they left because the performance was so bad.
Hmm.
This team no longer has any fight, at least from my perspective. That's what I see. I see a team because look, don't tell me all of a sudden my defense, they forgot how to tackle. They didn't forget how to tackle.
Right. Right.
Now all of a sudden they're the 32nd ranked defense. No, they're tired. They're tired.
Right. Right.
They,
They're on the field too much.
they're on the field too much. They quit. They quit against the Bucks, and it
Yeah.
seems like they quit against the Broncos. I mean, Bo Nix. I'm sorry. Bo Nix did not look like an NFL quarterback. I
No,
am not
he's
impressed with
not
him.
good either. He's not good.
No, dude, he missed wide open. This score could have been 51-10 because he missed wide open receivers. They could have scored way more than 33. The only reason they scored 33 is because they had two running backs that were killing us, or one guy that was killing us. But
Yeah, Williams,
Williams,
Devontae
yeah,
Williams.
yeah, and you can see Bo Nix rushed for 75 yards,
Hmm.
but he was not good as a passer, and they still put up 33 points on us and beat us by 23.
Mm.
So I think you're looking at a team that has no more fight. And yes, the injuries are piling up, but I think some of those injuries is the loser limp. I mean, come on now. Some of the, these hamstring injuries is, you know, when you're losing, especially when you lost five straight, yeah, you don't feel like giving it all your all anymore. So I don't want to question anybody, but man, it just didn't look, you know, real to me. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's just been a struggle for us, man. And I'm not sold on this Spencer Rattler kid. I know a lot of Saints fans are really high on him. They really believe that he's the future of the team. I, I I'm just not convinced, man. I didn't
Yeah.
see
You
anything
can't.
special in these two games.
Yeah, you can't be. I mean, he did not have a great college career. He lost
No.
his job, you know what I'm saying, had to go
Yeah.
to South Carolina, where he still looked pretty ordinary there. He didn't like to light it up. I mean, he had a couple good games, but it wasn't like consistent at
Right.
all. Then he
Right.
gets drafted in the fifth round. I don't see how he could be anybody's.
Right. It's
How do you
it's
say, okay,
insane.
that's my guy there. That's my guy.
Right. But see, the thing that really irritates me about the Saints organization, and they did this once before. Like Carr, we all know Carr is the starter. Carr is better than the two quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayne.
Right.
Got I'm not a big fan of Carr, but I know he's good enough to get us to 500. He's that good.
Yep.
But the Saints said that Jake Hayner was the backup. He beat out Spencer Rattler. That's how I understood it. If if
Hmm.
if if Spencer Rattler was that good, he should be suiting up on game day as the backup. He was not. So now they
Absolutely.
get to this game where Derek Carr can't play, and Spencer Rattler is named the starter. And it's like, wait, you got a second year player, Jake Hayner. Why aren't you
Hmm.
starting him? So now we got this conflict going on, and I would assume you got a disgruntled backup quarterback. We're like, well, hey, damn it, I beat this guy out preseason,
Right.
and I don't get the job. And, so you got to
Yeah.
ask yourself, how strong are you going to play for a guy that does that to you? They did that to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston got hurt at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Not that he was playing well, he wasn't, but still no, he was supposed to be the starter. He was named the starter. He got injured, and most of the time, coaches tell you you don't lose your job to injury. They put in
Right.
Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. It wasn't like Andy Dalton was on some win streak, right?
Right.
Like when Dak took over for Tony Romo and Dak went on a 10-game win streak, and
Yep.
Tony Romo came back for his job. And like, whoa, baby, we got 10 straight games. Nah, not it. This not what Andy Dalton was doing.
Right.
And the coach was like, nah, we're gonna stick with Andy. What what are you talking about? You're losing. And you want to stay the course? So that's what's happening now. Spencer Rattler lost 2 games in a row. They're gonna stay the course.
Mm-mm-mm.
So
I mean, I don't know if I can say the Hainer is any much whole lot better, but it's, it's just not good. I mean, you can't just completely put the rest of your franchise on this. I mean, I know you have no choice. Carr got hurt. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So now it's like, okay, well, let's see what he got. You
right,
know, that type of thing. But nah, they can't say that he look like the future right now.
right.
Man,
But
it
but
can't.
but my point is when you go through a season, when you go through preseason, you name your depth chart. You got people with expectations. Like, okay, great. I'm the second. I'm the backup quarterback. If Carr goes down, I'm taking over, right?
Mhm. Right.
And then you tell a kid, hey, I know we said you're the backup, but we really like this Spencer Rattler kid. We want to give him a shot. I know I will be pissed.
Right.
I know I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna go home to my wife. My wife gonna look at her. I saw Derek Carr got hurt, so you starting, right, baby? Nah, they decided to go with the rookie, the 5th round draft pick out of South
Right.
Carolina.
Right.
How you explain that to your family?
You can't.
You can't. I'm sure. So
You
I'm
can't.
sure you got a
Really can't.
disgruntled player now, man. So
Hmm.
and probably got a divided locker room. So not saying that this is happening, but just imagine being put in that situation and how it can have an effect on a locker room, how it can have an effect on a player that you make these promises to. That's the
Yeah.
type of things I don't like what this organization does.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the same thing with Romo when Romo got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which call it was when Dak first started in 2016. Dak was saying all the right things. This is Romo's team. Hey, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. On the back up when Romo come back, he was saying this. He
Mm-hmm.
was saying like, hey, no, this is Romo team. Every time people ask him about that, no, 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 this Romo team, we good. I'm playing my role till he get here, till he get back. You know what I'm saying? But then the hype just follows around when you start winning
Right.
10 games in a row. Then all of a sudden, no, no, we got to take this all the way to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, well, you're not going to take this to the Super Bowl. Rookie don't win Super Bowl. Okay. That's just not what happens in the NFL. And
Yep.
he's not that special where you can say, well, that guy, he's different. No,
Right.
he was
Right.
not that special. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? He had a lot of good stuff around him. He had
Right.
the number one rush defense. Zeke was running crazy. The best line in football, offensive line in football. What I mean, top 5 defense. I mean, he had everything around him to succeed, and that was the best team that Romo ever could have had. And the rest is history. He lost to Green Bay on that.
I would say the one time I ever seen a rookie quarterback almost take a team to a Super Bowl because it didn't happen was Ben Roethlisberger. Remember his rookie year with the Steelers taking over for Tommy Maddox and taking the
oh
Steelers
yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
AFC Championship game.
yeah, yeah.
Probably the closest you ever seen a rookie quarterback do that.
Um. Well, yeah, okay. Tom Brady wasn't a rookie when he took over. That's
No, he
right.
wasn't a
That was
rookie.
his, that was his second year.
Yeah, it was his second year.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but Roethlisberger took him to the AFC Championship game where they lost to Tom Brady in the Patriots. I believe that's who it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't remember.
Yeah, but we'll see. But that's my thoughts on the Saints and how things are going. I think it's only going to get worse. Right, we got a lot of injuries. Um, Carr still won't be playing. He's probably going to be out for another 2 weeks, another 2 games. So I don't think it's going to get any better. I mean, right now the offense is listless, and the defense seems to be discouraged because you don't just forget how to tackle.
Right.
When the last time you seen a honey badger drop an interception?
Oh my God, that joint right to him too. And you know why? You know why I remember to know that? Because I had a bet that he was going to catch an interception. It
Right,
was plus 1,200, 12 to 1 that he would catch an interception.
and he dropped it.
It was $10 to win 120. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he dropped it right in his chat. I couldn't believe he dropped it.
Yeah.
That's because I had the bet. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's because I had the bet.
Well, I think it's pretty sure because my defense is not motivated anymore. I think they're tired of carrying this team. It's just too much to bear. It's too much to bear.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway,
It certainly seemed like that. They on the field too long. You know, it's taking. You can't keep coming out there every 4 or 5 plays
right,
and expect to be, a good defense.
right, and then you see your offense not do much of anything.
Right,
You got to get back out, and everybody's you know putting the pressure on you. Okay, well you got to stop. You're supposed
right.
to be a top 10 defense. But
Hmm.
but damn, I mean, how? I picked off Baker Mayfield 3 times in 1 quarter,
Right.
and the special teams had a punt return for a touchdown. What? Goddamn! What else do you want?
Right.
I
What
mean,
else is there at this point?
yeah, what else do you want us to do? But now they're the 32nd ranked defense, and a lot of people get on them, considering them to be the worst defense, and it's the defense problem.
Nah,
And
it
it's
ain't the
like,
defense. It ain't the defense at all. I think everybody can pretty much see, that the offense not moving the ball. Especially in that game when they had against the Tampa Bay when they had 27 points in the second quarter.
right.
But most of that was defensive plays. It was
Well,
three turnovers
it was three. We picked Baker Mayfield off 2 plays, 2 series in a row,
back to back. Right.
back to back series. They picked him off, and it was inside Tampa Bay's territory. The
Hmm.
third interception was in Saints territory, but the
Yep.
two back to back interceptions were in Bucks territory that led to points. So it's just like it's unbelievable that you blame the defense.
Yeah,
But
you can't. I don't think you can though. Actually, I actually don't think you. It's possible that you can blame the defense for that. When your offense is not sustaining drives, there's no. I can't even remember any sustained drives from him. Matter of fact, the only sustained drive I remember, Hunter threw it,
yeah,
and that
at
was
the
at the
end,
end of the game. Yeah,
at
that's
the
at
end of
the
the
end of the
game,
game.
yeah,
Yeah, he threw a
yeah. I mean,
touchdown.
he had two strip fumbles, strip sack fumbles. One was returned for a touchdown against
Right.
the Broncos. And the Broncos, I'm sorry that Bo Nix, he is not it. I mean, this
Yeah.
this would be a really good team if they had a competent quarterback. But
Yeah,
anyway,
because that defense is for real. The
that
defense is
defense
for
is true.
real. Um, they do need some. They still need some better receivers and stuff. They do need better receivers as well. But yeah, the defense is for real, and they show. I mean, it looks from the outside looking in. I ain't to pull up the what they call that the 22 or the all 22
Oh
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
so I can see what's happening out there. But it don't look like the offense is like this flowing thing that he just missing passes, though he has missed some.
Oh my God, no, 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 no. He
Yeah,
was missing like this game against the
left
Saints,
and right.
left and right. The one interception that Tyrann Matthew should have had,
Oh no, that was terrible. No,
that was
that was
terrible. He had
it was right
receivers
to him.
open.
It was right to him.
He threw it in between the two open receivers to Tyrann Matthews. It was unbelievable. And there was like 2 other plays where he totally missed. There was one play where it would have been a touchdown if he'd have just threw a simple completion. It was simple. You could have threw this pass, and he overthrew the receiver that would have scored a touchdown.
Wow.
He was bad. It was like 3 wide open receivers that I can recall that he totally missed. Like, oh my God. And it could be rookie jitters. I don't know. He could turn out to be something special later on. But oh my God, right now, he just does not look good. But
Yeah, yeah,
anyway, so was that week? Was that week 7?
yep. Week
So
7.
so let's talk about the recap and what our records were for week
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And
You
my
want to talk
boys
about
is
that
off.
now?
Yeah, my boys is off. Yeah, yeah. We can get that in. I mean, uh, yeah, we can talk about that now.
All right, good. I was 12-3. You're 10-5. So I was on
Okay,
point this week.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I felt real good.
I took some risks this week.
You
I got
did. You
some
did take
risks.
you did take some risk. That was one risk. I was just like, what was he thinking?
Nah.
Yeah, it was the Panthers. You took the Panthers
Oh, the
over the.
Panthers over Washington. Yeah,
Oh, it was like, whoa, what was that? All
yeah,
right. So,
and
all right, let's recap these games. So we had the Thursday night game, Broncos in New Orleans against the Saints. Sean Payton's return, celebration of Drew Brees to the Saints Hall of Fame. And the Broncos won this game 33-10, really 33-3. Jake Hayner came in and threw a touchdown at the end of the game to make it. I don't even know if you want to say look respectable. That wasn't respectable.
no, it really wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, they were winning by 30 points going into it, towards the end of the game.
Yeah, dog.
All right. But you and I both know the Broncos were going to win this game. So we went with
Yeah,
the Broncos.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The Sunday morning game in London, we had the Jags as the home team, air quotes, home team against the Patriots. Jags were 5.5 point favorites. And we
Yep.
both went with the Jags, and the Jags blew out the Patriots. And so much for that great start that the Patriots had.
Yeah, I mean, beat the Bengals.
Yep.
First game of the season. They actually started this game off 10-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they started this game off 10-0, and then the doors just fell off. Everything just fell. It was just terrible. Then Jaguars started running back punts.
Mm,
It was just bad. It was just bad all around for them.
mm.
They
Well,
look like how they were supposed to look. A young team going over there for the first time.
what Drake May, I mean, he was okay. I mean, he wasn't terrible, right?
You got to light up the worst pass defense in the league, though.
Mm.
That's the worst pass defense in the league. You know what I'm saying? And the
Well,
reason why he put up so many yards is because they were behind. They
okay.
went behind quick. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's like they started off. It was kind of like the Saints game. You know what I'm saying? The Saints game. They start off 10-0, and then Jaguars scored 22 unanswered points in the second quarter.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I see it.
And Jaguars ended up being up 22-10 by the halftime. They started off 10-0. And the score at halftime was 22-10.
Yeah, I saw the 96-yard punt return that they had.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, after that, he was just throwing all the time. But you should be able to throw against the worst pass defense in the league,
Hmm.
especially if you're behind like that and you have to throw.
Right, right,
Do all that when you're ahead. You know what I'm saying?
right. That would impress me if you do that while you're ahead.
Yeah, really. So
Okay.
it
All
is
right.
what it is.
Yeah. All right. Next, we had the Falcons at home against the Seahawks. You and I both went with the Falcons, and the
Mm-mm-mm.
Seahawks went into Atlanta and
Man,
dominated the Falcons, 34-14.
they did the Falcon thing on me, man. I see no reason for them to lose this game, especially like that, the way they did. But all of a sudden, they can't score. And Seattle and Seahawks don't have a great defense this year.
No,
Their defense
no.
is not even good, and they could not move the ball consistently. It was weird. It was so weird seeing them not be able to move the ball. I thought Bijan was gonna have a big day. He had a good day,
Hmm.
but
He
it
rushed
wasn't.
for 100 yards.
It was
I thought the problem was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins he was throwing wildly bad passes, two interceptions, in this
Yeah.
game.
I
He
mean,
was
when you look at his stat sheet, it don't look too bad. It's not horrible. It's 24 for 35,
right.
234 touchdown and two interceptions. Two interceptions ain't great, but it
But
don't look terrible, but
well, you had to watch the game because he had the two interceptions and he had a fumble. He got sacked and fumbled the ball, and that was returned for a nice gain. So the turnovers put
yeah,
the Seahawks in great position.
yep,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I checked it out. I got to keep up with my division opponents. As bad as we are, we're still in this division.
Yeah, that was clearly a stinker.
Yeah, it
Clearly a
was.
stinker. And we had to see if they could recover from that. But
Right.
yeah, that just wasn't good.
All right. Next, we had the Bills at home against the Titans. You and I both went with the Bills, and the Bills won this 34-10. The
Yeah, they
Titans.
clouded up. They
Yeah.
clouded. And I think I told y'all, bump this one up. Bump
That's
this one up. Look, the 14 or something. I said 13 and a half, something like that. But they beat by even more than that. They beat by 24. That's crazy.
yeah, because it was 8.5. was the line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I was
it
like,
blew.
bump that up to like 13 or something, because
You sure did. I forgot about that.
yeah,
Okay, all right. Now here's the one: the Browns at home against the Bengals. Bengals are 6.5 point road favors. You and I both went with the Bengals, but if you watch this game, um, Deshaun Watson went out, was carted off the field with
yep,
Achilles injury.
yeah,
And two things that struck me about this game was one, the Browns fans cheering that he was
yeah,
injured.
yeah.
So
That was Bush League. It
it,
was. It
it
was.
was, but hey, look, you can't ever like as long as the fans ain't throwing something on the field or spitting on players or doing something wacky like that, they're
Yeah,
allowed to cheer and boo.
yeah, true. That's true.
They're allowed to do that, but
They definitely are.
it struck me because they've come a long way from thinking that they had a franchise quarterback to now cheering him off the field. And it's just crazy to me. And the other thing that struck me, right? Jameis Winston went to Cleveland to be the backup.
Right.
He did
And
not
they
play
did
in this
not
game.
play. Nope. Did not have him in there, yo. I was like, oh damn, Jameis.
I was like, wow.
Like, damn, Jameis.
What did you do
Uh,
now? That's all. That's exactly that was what was going through my head. What did you do this time?
I don't know if you heard his interview after
Yeah,
the
I
game. They
did.
was asked about it. Yeah, he got in on he got into the Cleveland fans about that, about
Right.
Boone and everything. He was like, that was ridiculous. I see how this guy works, and for him to come out and then that to happen, and for the fans to react that way was unbelievable. And I can't believe they did that. I was like, wow. And then
You
when, you know,
know,
but
why why
yeah.
why why you always have to come out preach and give a sermon?
Well, you know
You know,
that's what he do. You know he can't stop running his mouth.
you know,
Never has since he been in the league, since before he was in the league.
yes.
He run his mouth. That's what he
He
do.
just run his mouth. It's just like, hey, it happens. And just let it go. We wish Watson the best. Hopefully he
Hmm.
makes a full recovery and come back to the team.
Right.
But the season hasn't gone the way we wanted it to. And the
Hmm.
fans have a right to cheer and boo because they're displeasure. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. As long as you're not dumping something on people or saying something, outlandish,
Hmm.
you're allowed to express your feelings. So I don't have a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's just the optics. That's
yeah, it's the
all. It's the
optics.
optics don't look good
But the team,
because
but
you're cheering for somebody to be hurt. So.
right, right. That's true. That's the optics of it.
Hmm.
But like, I heard some Saints players upset with the fans because the fans left after halftime. Well, stop playing terribly. How about you do that?
Yeah,
If you
that
playing,
should help. That should help you call.
that should help the problem. Don't chastise them. Play better.
Yeah, yeah,
Just as well
yeah,
as Deshaun Watson. Play better. And they probably would have been upset that you got hurt. But since you've
yeah.
been playing poorly, it's like,
Shit, he playing beyond poorly. Ugh, that's just one of the worst. The fact that I seen him play at his top and then to see him playing like that is
I
just
know.
ugh.
But it seems like it's been downhill ever since the whole scandal came out and in
Well, yeah,
Houston
of
he
course.
asked for the trade. It,
Hmm.
it just seems like mentally he's checked out.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it. Now, I mean, when you first of all, football is not really a sport that you can take off for that amount of time and come back and play at
Mm-hmm.
any kind of substantial level. I mean, football is football is a sport that when you stop playing it, your body instantly starts breaking down. It
Mm-hmm.
instantly starts breaking down. Number one, you're not working out as much, that's the first thing. But then your body starts getting used to those hits, the
Mm-hmm.
cuts, you know what I'm saying? And when you go back to do that, it don't feel the same.
But I think it's also mental, right?
Oh yeah, well definitely that.
Yeah.
That
I
too.
mean, where you're focused, especially the quarterback, where a lot of what the quarterback does is all mental and
Yeah,
timing
absolutely. Absolutely.
and knowing where everybody is and when Deshaun Watson came out of Clemson, he was mentally sharp. He was a focused player. You know what I mean? And then when the
Mhm.
scandal broke, he just didn't seem to be all there. As far as what he should be doing out on the field. It's just like football is not his passion anymore. I don't know. That's just
Yeah,
my
I
thoughts
mean,
from what
doing
I'm
all that,
seeing.
yeah, doing all that time, he probably wasn't working out, probably wasn't doing, you know what I'm saying? He
Right,
wasn't a team at first, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
It-
yeah.
I, I I encourage you to watch Netflix. Quarterbacks, I think, is the name of the show. And one of
Mhm.
the things that really impressed me about Kirk Cousins, and this is when he was at Minnesota and they were having that good run with the Vikings going to the playoffs and stuff like that. And they showed him like going through the playbook with his wife, trying to memorize plays, understand where everybody is supposed to be on the field. You got to look at all the work that goes into this. This dude has like the plays on audio where somebody's saying the plays and he keeps them
Mm,
in his AirPods and he listens to them while he's in the car at the stadium so he can get
mm.
the rhythm of calling the plays and stuff like that. And you think to yourself, wow, you really like, because this is a week to week thing.
Yeah,
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 and the dedication and work that has to go into it. He's sitting at home working on it with his wife. I was
right.
like, it was dope. That was dope to watch that, and it gives you an idea of what these guys go through to prepare for these games week in and week out.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yep. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Yep, yep.
One of the best games of the week: the Packers at home against the Texans.
Mm,
Packers were 2.5 point home favorites. You and I
yeah,
both went with the Packers on this. I was gonna go with the Texans, but everything in my mind said no way. Not with a good team playing at home. They cannot lose this game.
yeah, yeah. It was a good game though. I did watch it. This is one of the games I could see from the poker room. It
Mm,
was right in front of me. So I got to watch this one. But yeah, it was a good game.
yep.
Played back and forth. It was just a good game to watch. It was entertaining to watch. Points were being put up here and there. Yeah, I thought it looked like it was going to be a barn burner at first. It looked like they was going to score a lot of points at first, but they calmed down second half. But yeah, the good game from Mixon. Um, Stroud didn't have too great of a game, but I guess because they was running the ball so much, they were running heavy. They were very run heavy.
He
But
had 86 yards.
86 yards passing, which I don't understand how they was even in this game with that. He was under 50% throwing, okay, at 86 yards passing.
I think saying that
I
he
don't even
didn't
know how
have
they was
a good
close.
game is an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it wasn't for the turnovers that the defense got, they would have been completely blown out of this game.
Hmm.
That's what it looks like. That's what
Right.
it looks like.
Right.
But I mean, it ended up being a good game. Came down to the last field goal
Hmm.
or whatever to win the game with time running out. It was a good game. It really was.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. It was. Came down to the last second field goal and Packers won. All right.
Yep.
Next, we had the Colts at home against the Dolphins. Colts were 3.5 point home favorites, and you and I both went with the Colts. Colts won this one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say it's easy because when I originally made this pick, I thought that I didn't think Richard was gonna play.
Hmm.
I didn't think Richards was playing. I thought this was Flacco's game.
Right.
And when he ended up playing, I was like, oh, I don't know how much I like this pick now. But they are at home. They are playing Huntley at quarterback. You know,
Hmm.
they should still win. And
Right.
they did barely, very, very low scoring game. Oh, I wish I knew Richardson was playing. I would play the under. Ugh, missed that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess they really going to try to force this Richardson thing
It
to
looks
work.
like, yep, it looks like exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Because,
force feed Richardson up in there.
dude, because it's crazy. Well, before this game, Flacco had 716 yards passing,
Hmm.
7 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yep.
That's insane. Those are outstanding numbers.
Yeah, he came in there and was flinging it, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's numbers, like you look, if you play DFS, daily fantasy or anything like that, you notice that all the receivers when Flacco was in it, they were eating. They were
Yes.
all getting numbers. Even Ali Cox, that tight end, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
he was even man, Flacco was in there flinging that ball just like he was last year, man.
I just don't understand. I mean, because now what Richardson he's played in 4 games this season,
Mm-hmm.
and he has like 783 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I mean, it's a stark difference between these two quarterbacks, and
Yep.
he's still going to force Richardson in the game.
And a
To
couple
me,
of those was pick sixes, I think.
yeah, and it's like, well, why can't you start Flacco and let Richardson learn from it?
Yeah, really though. I mean, if you want to win, you're gonna win with Flacco. That's for sure.
Right.
That is for sure. That Flacco is the offense moves the ball when Flacco's in the game.
Yeah, he gives you a better chance
That's
of
that's
winning.
that's just facts.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
even had like a 25-yard run out there. Like, look at Flacco he still got a little bit. He's
He
out
looks
there
awkward. I
moving.
mean, the
Yeah,
Flacco, what,
but
6'4" or something like that? He looks awkward
yeah.
running the
But if
ball.
you remember with the Ravens early on in his career, he
Mm,
was a runner.
I know. I
He used to
remember.
take off. Yeah, he
I
used to take
remember.
off and run, man.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. All
mm,
right.
mm.
Oh, another good one. Well, no, was this a good game? The Vikings at home against the Lions. You and I both went with the Vikings. Um, Vikings were 2.5 point home favorites, but the Lions won this one 31-29.
Another good game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, Vikings had to kind of come back in this game.
That's what I remember. I couldn't remember if the Vikings were blown out and just kind of made it look respectable, but I think it was a good game. And
No, they were actually winning in the fourth quarter of this game.
you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were winning in the fourth quarter of this game. The um, of the Vikings, the Lions had to kick a 45-yard field goal to win by
Yeah.
2 because they were down by 1. So what happened was this: is what happened, right? They had I think it was a field what
A
happened?
fumble,
It was
a
a two
fumble,
point.
a
It was a
fumble
two
return.
point. Right, right, right. So they were down 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They were down 1 point. And then on a 2 point conversion, there was a fumble return for a touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
which actually put them up 1.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? That put them up 1 point. The Vikings. That put the Vikings up 1 point. And then they had the Lions had to stop them, get the ball back, get down, and kick a 44-yard field goal to win. It
Yeah.
was it was an exciting game.
Yeah, I remember watching this game and I cut it off and started watching another game. So I missed what happened towards the end. But it
Yeah,
looks interesting because they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and then they went for the 2 point conversion to make it a 3 point game and failed.
yeah.
And that basically gave the
That
win
was
to
the
the
one
Eagles.
point.
That was the one
Well,
point.
well, that was that's what I'm saying. That was the 1 point. But then on the next time that
The Vikings had the ball.
that the Lions had the ball,
Mm-hmm.
right? They were trying to do a 2 point they were trying to do a 2 point conversion, right?
Okay.
But but they got the ball and returned it. That gave them 2 points. Because you know
Oh,
that's
okay.
how
I
it
get what you're
happens.
saying.
And that put them ahead. That
Oh,
put the
okay.
Vikings ahead, right? That put the Vikings ahead because they were behind by 1 point. Because, like you said, they went up. Detroit went up 1 point, and then they were trying to get the 2 point conversion so that they could be up by 3.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, there was a fumble return for a touchdown for the Vikings that put them up 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got what you're saying.
Yeah. That put the Vikings up 1. So that's what I was saying. It was exciting. That fourth quarter is pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, it was a
Look
fun
at
game to
them.
watch. That was a fun game to watch. I wish I'd watched it completely. But
Yeah.
all right.
I had to kind of look at it on the side because I ain't had a good view. But
Yeah. Well, talk about a game that was not fun. The Giants at home against the Eagles. The Eagles were 3 point road favorites. You and I both went with the Eagles. This game was not close.
Mm-mm.
Good for Saquon Barkley to put it on the Giants.
Oh
Those
man,
clowns were
revenge game, revenge game, revenge game. I
How
don't know why
stupid was
I
that?
didn't say nothing. I don't know why I didn't say nothing about this on the podcast about the revenge game. Just completely flipped my mind. But that was the revenge game of the week.
Yes.
I mean, you
Yes.
had to see that coming. He gonna come back and make him pay.
He made him pay 17 carries, 176 yards. He had a
Yeah.
55-yard touchdown in this game. I mean, good for you, Saquon. I mean, how silly of the Giants not to
Mm-mm.
pay this man.
He wasn't really. He, I mean, you probably didn't even have to break the bank with him.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You probably didn't even had to break the bank. I mean, the fact that he came back that other year and took that 10, was it 12 million? You know what I'm saying?
Pocket
You probably
change
didn't
for a
have to.
running back.
Yeah, you didn't even have to break the bank with him probably.
Yeah. I
But he deserved every penny because he was your offense.
he was everything for this team, and they
Yep.
let him go, and that's so foolish. And the Giants are getting what they deserve.
Yep.
Good on Saquon. Got your money. You're now
Absolutely.
with a winning team, and let Daniel Jones try to carry the Giants, which he can't.
Yep.
Foolish. All right, next we had the Rams at home against the Raiders. Rams are 7-point home favorites. You and I both went with the Rams. The Raiders are a mess.
Yeah, they are big time. Minshew. Whew.
Oh my
How
goodness.
does he keep getting jobs? How does he
Well,
keep getting jobs playing like that?
well, my understanding is Aiden O'Connell started this game and then got hurt, broke his thumb or something like that, and
Ah,
and then
yeah.
Minshew comes in and he does what he does. He threw 3 interceptions, had a fumble, so turnover Minshew.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting there looking, and I'm kind of like looking off on the side, looking at this game. I was like, "Oh, damn, Minshew started this game. I thought the other guy was starting, but okay, but he
Yeah,
didn't start. The other guy just got hurt.
the
Connor
other
got
guy got hurt. Yeah, yeah,
okay. But I
yeah.
seen him out there. He was just looking terrible. I mean, just throwing past while he's about to go down, getting intentional grounding calls. It was awful.
Yeah,
He looked
yeah.
absolutely awful.
I mean, he's been a turnover machine since he came into the league, man. It's just,
Yeah, and this is why Devontae Adams wanted out so bad.
I don't
This,
blame
this is
him.
why he was like, I got to go. Trade me.
Yeah.
I don't care. Trade me somewhere. But I can't. My hamstring hurt until y'all do. My hamstring is falling off the bowl until y'all
it,
find some place for me to go.
until he got to New York, everything was fine.
Oh,
Now
his
he can
hamstring
run.
is great now. Oh,
Yeah,
it's been
it,
regrafted.
it,
They
yeah,
put stem cells in that joint.
yeah. It
He,
reminded me of when James Harden wanted to leave Houston. Remember, he showed up at the game. He was looking fat,
yep,
looking out of shape and overweight. And then the next thing you know, and when he arrived in Philadelphia, he takes his shirt off, and I mean, he looks great.
yep.
It's like, did he have on a fat suit when he was in Houston? How is this possible? Okay. All right. Next. Now, this is the bonehead pick of the week. It's got to be. We had the Commanders at home against the Panthers. Commanders are 7.5-point home favorites, and Dell went with the Panthers.
Yeah, I thought
Why?
I thought Andy Dalton would play better. He obviously didn't.
No, he
That
did
was
not.
it. He played terrible. I mean, he played absolutely awful. If he played any kind of decent in that game, they could have been in that game. They would have been in that game.
They
But
lost 40-7, and I think
yeah,
at one point it was 40-0,
no, I wasn't 40-0. But he
37-0. I'm sorry.
yeah, it wasn't 40-0. But he he just played terrible from the very beginning. I think his first drive he threw a pick six.
I
And
believe
it was
so.
a weird weak pick six too. It was like you trying to do one of the screen passes. He
Mm-hmm.
was under duress, just tossed the screen pass
Mm-hmm.
past the guy. Guy wasn't even turned all the way around. I think it was Miles Sanders. He wasn't even turned all the way around. And the guy that was standing there saw it better than he did, threw it right to him, took it back to the house. And after that, they couldn't move the ball past the 50.
I know. And then they bring in Bryce Young. He go 2 for 2 for -4 yards.
Well, that was in a 4 quarter game, was way over.
But still, I mean, how do you throw
Okay.
for -4 yards? It's not even possible
Yeah.
unless you throw him behind the line of scrimmage every time. How do you throw for -4 yards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was bad.
Anyway, yep. Commanders won that game. I went with the Commanders. You went with the Panthers for whatever reason. All right. Here's a good one. I'm not necessarily the game, but making a pick for it. 49ers at home against the Chiefs. The 49ers are actually 1.5-point home favorites here. I went with the
Yeah.
Chiefs. You went with the 49ers, and the Chiefs won this game pretty handily.
Yeah. I should have known, like I said, when the team owns another team,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta ride them till they stop.
Yep, that's right.
And the Chiefs are not finished owning them.
Yeah, they beat them twice in the Super Bowl. They own the
Yeah.
49ers.
Yeah. And in the regular season. It wasn't just the Super Bowls.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah.
This the second regular season. They played them last year in the regular season.
That's true. That's
They
true.
beat them,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I thought that Rasheed Rice being out or like be a little bit more hindrance to him. I mean, Mahomes didn't have a great game,
No, he didn't.
but
Definitely not.
yeah, but
But but
they've obviously said they're gonna go back to running the ball with Kareem Hunt. He's back in the fold.
but
So this dude has like 49 carries in the last two games.
but here's the thing about the Chiefs and what everybody's forgetting. I mean, yes, they got the star quarterback. Yes, it's Patrick Mahomes, but this is a defensive team. The Chiefs are a defensive team, and a lot of people aren't recognizing it. I
I
mean,
mean, they're not a defensive team. They got a good defense, but they're not. You're known them by Patrick Mahomes. They're winning on the back of Patrick Mahomes than the offense.
you think they won this game on the back of Patrick Mahomes?
Well, they scored 28 points, and none of them came on defense.
Ain't none
So
of them came by Patrick Mahomes throwing it.
I mean, Kareem Hunt ran for two touchdowns, and they were
Yeah.
down there. But I mean, he got down there.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, they play. Don't get me wrong. The defense is playing great. They are
Playing
playing great,
outstanding.
but they're not a defensive team.
I
The,
think they are.
the offense is what runs this team.
I mean,
The defense is a good defense because even though they're not putting up a ton of points, they are still sustaining drives.
mm-hmm.
They still have 7, 8, 10 play drives. It's just when they get down there, out they get to me, they get too cute. I mean, they
But
start to get too cute with these shotgun three wide plays. It's first down and goal on the 2 yard line.
well, I think also the injuries at wide receiver is hurting them, right? Because even Juju Smith-Schuster didn't even play in this game. I think he pulled his hamstring. You
Yeah,
know, so they got a lot of injuries on the offense, especially with Pachenko being out at running back. So that's why you got Kareem Hunt back there.
right.
So
Pachinko's been out for a few weeks now. I mean, at least
yeah,
4 5 weeks.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, they brought back Kareem Hunt. They're not trying to ease him back in. They're giving him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's toting the rock. Yeah, 22 carries. Like I said, he had 29 carries last game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he the workhorse, and but I think that plays into the style of team that they are now, which I think is relying on the defense more than Patrick Mahomes, you know, taking over games.
Mm. I mean, like I said, well, in the playoffs last year, I think the Patrick it was like Patrick Mahomes turns it on when he needs to turn it on.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You
That's
know
why
what
I
I'm
didn't
saying?
pick them to win the Super Bowl last year because I didn't think he was going to be able to turn it on. But you're right, he turned it on in the playoffs.
Yeah, when he's ready to, when he has to, he turns it on. But he don't have to because they was leading this whole game.
Mm,
It looked like early that this might be a thing when they had to come from behind. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't really moving the ball that much.
mm,
Um, but then San Francisco offense just went in the toilet. It just
yeah,
went in the toilet.
yeah,
Um,
and that's something when you can shut down a Kyle Shanahan offense like they did. So
yeah, absolutely. But you know what? This tends to happen to them.
hmm
This happened to them last year. Remember they had that 3 game losing
yeah, I
streak?
remember. I
Yeah,
remember.
and then they got smashed by the Ravens,
Hmm
toward the season. This teams has happened to them every once in a while. I don't really understand how and why, but they lost Brandon Ayuk in this game. Big
That's
news.
big.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't when they was going through that whole contract thing. I thought that they was going to let him go because they had that guy Jennings.
Hmm
Jennings to me is almost the same player.
mm
He's slightly smaller than Ayuk, but he's the same player. He might have better hands than Ayuk.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it makes for a compelling um, run for who's going to win this division with all of the teams kind of one game apart from each other.
Hmm.
The 49ers are 3-4 now. Seahawks are back on top at 4-3. So
Mm.
yeah, it makes it very compelling in NFC West. And guess what? The Rams are still in it at 2-4.
Yeah, they're still there.
They're still there. So okay,
Absolutely.
let's go to the next one. I want to talk about this game and this quarterback. We had the Steelers at home against the Jets, and for some reason, the Jets were 1.5 point road favorites there, which I did not understand.
Yeah.
And knowing that Russell Wilson was going to start for the Steelers, and Russell Wilson played fantastic. Russ was cooking in this game. You and I both went with the Steelers on this. and the Steelers won
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah,
Russ
but
cooked.
could not understand why they were favorite in this game. Really could not.
Yeah,
I still, even though I was still even up to the kickoff looking like, okay, somebody's got to be hurt or something.
right. I
This
don't know
wasn't
if they
really
thought
a
Justin
team.
Fields was a better option at quarterback than Russell Wilson. I just did not understand why the Jets were favored in this game.
Yeah, either that or they punt. They way overhyped. Uh,
Oh, and
Deontay. I mean,
Adams, right?
Adams. Yeah, Devontae Adams getting there. They way overhyped that. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only thing I can see that must have happened there to make them do that.
I guess it just didn't make any sense. Or maybe all the sharks were putting their money on the Jets or something. I don't
Hmm.
know. All
Yeah,
right, let's go to the next one. We had the Bucks at home against the Ravens, and the Ravens annihilated the Bucks. And you and I both went with the Ravens on this.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this wasn't competitive at all.
Yeah. I think once Mike Evans went out that game, completely deflated them. And they that offense after that they could not move the ball nearly as much. And Baker Mayfield, he must have something with the second quarter. I'm gonna have to start watching this because once again he throws two
Two
interceptions in the
interceptions to the
second
same
quarter.
player, Marlon
Yeah,
Humphreys.
I'm
Yeah,
like, what? And then one of them was an absolute terrible throw. I'm like, what are you looking at, Baker? That one of them he had no business throwing that ball.
are you
I'm
talking
like,
about the
what is
one
it?
in the end zone?
Oh well, that one too. But no, it was the other one. The other one, the guy was triple cup. It's
You're
like
right,
you shouldn't even threw that on your worst. You just take the sack at that point.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the end zone joke was terrible too.
That was terrible. It's like, why did you throw that? And if
So
anything, just
bad.
throw it out of the back of the end zone
Yeah.
and take the
How
field
did you
goal.
not see him?
Right.
How could you not see him? He's right there. Like the dude didn't have to move that much or nothing.
Yeah,
But
that.
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this on Baker Mayfield these second quarters.
Yeah. All right. And the last Monday night game, which was surprising, we had the Cardinals at home against the Chargers. You and I both went with the Chargers.
Yeah,
Chargers was 2.5 point road favorites, and the Cardinals won this game.
yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, low scoring.
Yeah,
Uh,
low scoring game, and Kyler Murray had to have the big what was it, like a 40-yard touchdown run, 44-yard touchdown run that gave the Cardinals the lead.
yeah, man. He got hurt early in that game.
Yeah, but he came right
Um,
back in.
re- huh?
He came right back in.
Yeah, he came right back in, but he came in limping. He was obviously limping when he came back in
Oh,
that game.
okay.
Yeah, so he didn't run for a long time. I mean, he had 23 yards on in the first drive of the first quarter. He didn't have another rush, I think, until the fourth quarter.
Mm,
I mean, he didn't even carry the ball and get to the fourth quarter. And it's after that thing. I think they said it was a hip. He had hurt his
mm.
hip.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that because he got hit on his hip when it
Yeah.
was a play where he was throwing and the defender hit him because the
Yep.
defender's got to get pretty low to tackle this dude. I
Oh
don't care what anybody say. He is not 5'10",
yeah. Yeah.
5'7", 5'8", 5'8" max.
Hmm.
I mean, that guy looks tiny. He looks like a little child out there running with the football.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Your stubby legs.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Holla.